Over the past few years, Minecraft civilization experiments inspired by pioneers like Ish, Magic Gum, and others have evolved into large-scale social experiments. These events typically begin by dividing hundreds of participants into isolated civilizations on separate islands or regions, often in hardcore mode. Participants are then left to fend for themselves, triggering emergent dynamics such as trade, diplomacy, cultural development, and eventually conflict and war. While these events are compelling to watch, many fall short when it comes to sustaining genuine interdependence among participants without heavy-handed administrative oversight. When I recently watched Joyful's insightful video essay, where he introduced concepts like the social production loop and dissected the limitations of experiments conducted by Ish and Magic Gum, I was struck by his observation that most events allow participants to survive comfortably in isolation. Without constraints pushing them to rely on others, the true impetus for cooperation never materializes. With Joyful's suggestions, I reached out to him and presented a proof of concept plugin designed to enforce interdependence structurally rather than with admin interference. After a complete code-based overhaul guided by his critiques, the system now attempts to more closely align with his theory. The core of our design reimagines material scarcity. Participants will not be able to meet their material needs, foods, tools, resources, or shelter without collaborative production. Natural regeneration will be off. Our mechanics will most likely create a persistent social production loop, constantly reinforcing communal dependency. Participants will naturally form teams, develop specializations, and engage in authentic social interactions, whether through alliances, economic interdependencies, territorial conflicts, as the dangers of expansion intensify due to distance, with increasingly hostile mobs and environmental threats. To rigorously evaluate the system, I plan to run a series of randomized 7-day trials. Participants will be able to access the server for roughly 5 hours per day under the new Interdependence plugin. Key metrics such as daily rates of team formation and role specialization will be tracked and averaged across the week. To minimize bias, particularly the tendency for participants to gravitate towards recognizable personalities or content creators, all participants will remain anonymous during gameplay. Usernames will be masked to ensure no one is identified, preventing any outside bias based on prior fame or influence. A control group, either different participants or the same participants under standard Minecraft settings, will undergo the same protocol, but without the plugin. Our aim is to statistically test the null hypothesis, the original hypothesis made by Joyful, that forced interdependence and a reinforced social production loop without manual admin intervention can significantly increase cooperative behaviors compared to baseline gameplay. Ultimately, we hope to fail to reject the null hypothesis and therefore infer that carefully designed mechanics alone can provoke emergent collaboration without the need for manual admin intervention. We're initially aiming to gather at least 60 participants. However, in an ideal scenario, we'd recruit up to 1,800 players, the scale necessary needed to rigorously approximate normal distribution across independent experiments. This will allow us to more confidently evaluate whether the observed cooperative behaviors are truly emergent or just incidental. Whether the final results confirm or contradict the null hypothesis, it will provide valuable insight into the social dynamics of player interdependence. So if you're interested in participating in this experiment, join us. Discord links are in the description or on screen right now. We genuinely appreciate your help in testing whether we can fail to reject the null hypothesis.